Hi, I'm Stephen David Horwich, and I'd like to give you an overview of our upper school educational basics courses. These are the first courses that your students should do as they start upper school. It's possible that they've done a few of them in our lower school program if you started with that. So I'm going to cover them, and you can decide for yourself exactly which of these courses your student needs to do at this time. We usually start a student as their very first course in upper school with How to Do Connect the Thoughts course. This is a free course. You can download it from our site. It's quite brief, and what it does is it acclimates the student to the methodology that we use in our courses so that they thoroughly understand what they're getting into and how to do these courses as they start. It's a very important course. It's very short. It only takes a day or two to do, sometimes only hours. And it uses our methodology even as it teaches the student our methodology. So it's very useful. If your student has done that course, by the way, or if your student has already been doing Connect the Thoughts courses, probably that course is unnecessary. The second course we ask a student to do is Information Right or Wrong. Information Right or Wrong is a very short course. It can be done in a matter of hours, and it teaches the student to identify the difference between the truth, an opinion, and misinformation or a lie in study materials and in life. Very, very useful information, very much pro-survival information for the student. Now, it is possible that your student has already done this course, again, in lower school if they started there. If so, the course does not need to be done again, and there's no reason for you to purchase it and have them run it through unless they really want to. It is quite brief. It can be done in under a day. It can certainly be done in a few days of study. The third course that we ask a student to do in upper school, and the first one they really need to do even if they did lower school, is Upper School How to Do Research. Upper School How to Do Research has far more information than Lower School How to Do Research. It provides the student many, many more tools, and the student's going to need those additional tools in order to do upper school materials, which are far more difficult than lower school materials. We can't recommend that the student do this course before starting other studies more highly. We actually require it. So that's a course your student will need to do. We do recommend very strongly that the student consider doing You or Them, Control Over Your Life. This is a kind of sequel to Information Right or Wrong that we make available to upper school students, and that we would request you consider doing after doing upper school research. It's a very important course. It teaches the student to identify areas in the culture that are attempting to manipulate his thought processes and his time. Things like television, video games, drugs. Very important that the students spot these things for what they really are, which are control mechanisms, so that the door is open for the student to thoroughly invest themselves in their studies without any of these problems cropping up. We can't recommend the course too highly. It isn't required, but we do believe that a student should do it before starting upper school curriculum. Once completing those courses, really the only other course we have that would qualify as an educational basic would be the computer course. And if your student's using a computer, and probably they are at this age, there's no reason at all for a student to do the computer course. You shouldn't bother with it. The other educational basics courses that we really do need the student to commit to are the spelling program and the reading program. Most states have reading requirements. In California, I believe the requirement is 1 book per month for a homeschooler, a book at their reading level. What our reading program does is allow the student to locate books that they're interested in which will fulfill the requirements. It's very elastic, very responsive to the student's needs and wants, and I think you'll like it. It's a very, very simple program. Also, the spelling program is very, very key to improving the student's ability in that area. It isn't a phonics program, doesn't deal with phonetics at all. In fact, it only deals with using words that the student has attempted to spell and failed to spell correctly in the student's own writings. It's very specific, and it supports the student's process, the student's desire to communicate using certain words. It's very effective, very simple program. It's free. You can download it from our course, and we hope that you do and that you use it every week. So that's pretty much it for the educational basics. There are a few educational basics electives in the reading program in the area of science fiction and in fantasy, and those are multi-year programs that a student can do if they feel like it. And each of those programs provide the student an entire history of a literary genre, as well as a list of the very, very best reading in that genre. So we hope you'll consider these courses. We hope you'll look at the samples on our site and consider using them for your student. Thank you very much for your time.